When I was a kid, my best mate Darren had a great way of getting his toy soldiers to have a war. He'd line them up on the kitchen floor, close the kitchen door, draw the kitchen window blind, set an alarm clock to ring in 1 minute's time, and then he'd switch off the kitchen lights, making the kitchen as dark as night. And then he'd take his tennis racket and start to swing with all his might and smash his soldiers everywhere, sending them flying through the air, making them spin. Even his dog joined in, scampering about with a mouth full of toy soldiers sticking out. Then after 1 minute, when the alarm clock started to ring, whichever side of the toy soldiers had the most left standing, that was the side that would win. Years later, Darren is now a man, and he's strong and he's big, and he's helping his mum bring in a brand new fridge. When they moved the old one, they found underneath in the dust and the grease 3 toy soldiers who were still fighting the war, who were waiting for an enemy that wasn't there anymore. He gently dusted them down and put them on the ground, and with as much love as he could, he told them, "It's over. You no longer need to be a toy soldier. You can go back to your wives, to your friends you used to know, lead your former lives. It finished 10 years ago." And with as much love as he could, he told them, there is no more war. But nobody told his dog, which ran back in and chewed their heads off once more. Thank you. This poem is called The Value of Wales, right, yeah? Now, I wrote this poem, we woke up one morning, we're big Madonna fans, right? And what we'd done is we taped the interview that Madonna did with Kirsty Walk, and we watched it in bed one morning, because we like to lead the poetry lifestyle. And there was a few things that Madonna said in that interview that sort of, you know, that caught my mind. One was that she said that her biggest fear for the world was global terrorism because it's everywhere. And I thought, yeah, that's what global means. Yeah. Nice one, Matt. But the other thing that she said that really sort of stuck with me, and then throughout the rest of the day it kept hitting me, was that she claimed that she had Welsh descendancy. And then from that point onwards, throughout the day, like every half an hour, every 45 minutes, I kept getting the concept, the idea of Wales coming towards me. Not the marine amphibian, you know, I mean the actual country itself. And there's like one reason in particular that you'll all be familiar with, and so this poem is called The Value of Wales. Its chief contribution to the UK must be as a unit of measurement, as night after night a newsreader declares or a newspaper states an area of rainforest the size of Wales disappears every year, or the amount of water London loses through its creaking Victorian pipes would fill a swimming pool the size of Wales. Every part of the world has a similar unit of measurements. In the United States of America, it's an area the size of New Jersey. Whilst on mainland Europe, the reference more often than not is Slovenia, which appropriately happens to be 98.4% the size of Wales. But just how accurate is Wales as a unit of measurements? Just how constant is that landmass? It's worth remembering that at low tide, Wales is around 20,000 square kilometres, but at high tide, it's nearly 700 less. And to really put it into context, each year, coastal erosion erodes an area of Wales the size of central Swansea. And for those of you trying to visualise that on mainland Europe, that's the equivalent to downtown Ljubljana in Slovenia.